My roommate stole my identity and ruined my credit score. A bit about me. I'm 26, male. For the past 2 years, I shared an apartment with Kevin, my roommate and what I thought was my best friend. We met in college and hit it off instantly. After graduation, it seemed natural to continue living together in the city while we both started our careers. Little did I know, Kevin was about to turn my life upside down. It all started innocently enough. Kevin was a tech-savvy guy, always tinkering with gadgets and fixing things around the apartment. I trusted him completely, never imagining that this trust would be my downfall. We split the rent, shared groceries, and even had a joint Netflix account. Kevin was like the brother I never had. But as they say, trust is a double-edged sword. One evening, after a particularly long day at work, I decided it was time to buy a car. I'd been saving up for months, and I was excited to finally have my own set of wheels. I walked into the dealership, found the perfect car, and filled out the loan application with confidence. But when the sales associate returned, her expression was grave. "Mr. Thompson, I'm sorry, but your loan application has been denied. Your credit score is extremely low," she said, handing me the papers. I was stunned. I had always been diligent about my finances. I paid my bills on time, never missed a payment, and had no significant debt. I thanked her, took the paperwork, and left, my mind racing with confusion and disbelief. The next morning, I called the credit bureau to request a detailed report. As I read through the document, my heart sank. There were numerous credit cards, loans, and even a mortgage in my name, none of which I had any knowledge of. My initial reaction was disbelief. This had to be some sort of mistake. Determined to get to the bottom of this, I contacted each creditor listed on the report. The responses were consistent and chilling. Each account had been opened using my name, my social security number, and my personal information. But there was one common thread: Kevin's email address and phone number were listed as secondary contact details on several of the accounts. It felt like a punch to the gut. Kevin, my best friend and roommate, had been stealing my identity and racking up debts in my name. I confronted him that evening when he came home from work. My hands were shaking, and my voice trembled with anger and betrayal. "Kevin, I know what you've been doing. You've been stealing my identity and ruining my credit score," I said, thrusting the credit report in his face. He looked at the papers and then at me, his face a mask of Fox confusion. "What are you talking about, man? I would never do that to you. Don't lie to me, Kevin. Your email and phone number are on these accounts. I trusted you," I shouted, my voice echoing through the apartment. Kevin's expression shifted from confusion to resignation. All right, I did it. But I can explain," he said, holding up his hands in a placating gesture. "Explain? You've ruined my life. Why would you do this to me?" I demanded. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I was in a tough spot financially. I lost my job a few months ago and didn't know how to tell you. I needed money, and it just spiraled out of control. I didn't mean for it to go this far." His words did nothing to quell my anger. "You should have come to me, Kevin. I would have helped you. Instead, you betrayed me." Realizing there was no justification for his actions, Kevin apologized, but it was too late. I told him to pack his things and leave. I couldn't bear to look at him anymore. As he packed, I called the police and reported the identity theft. Kevin was arrested later that night, his tearful apologies echoing in my ears. The weeks that followed were a blur of phone calls, paperwork, and meetings with creditors and law enforcement. I had to prove that I was the victim of identity theft, which was a long and arduous process. My credit score, once pristine, was now in shambles. It would take years to rebuild. Despite the betrayal, I received support from friends and family. They helped me navigate the legal and financial fallout, providing both emotional and practical assistance. Slowly but surely, I began to piece my life back together. One day, as I was sorting through yet another stack of documents, I received a letter from Kevin. He wrote from jail, apologizing once again, and explaining that he had entered a rehabilitation program for his compulsive behavior and financial irresponsibility. He promised to make amends and repay the money he had stolen, but I knew it would be a long time before I could trust him or anyone again. As the months turned into years, I worked hard to repair my credit and regain control of my life. I took on extra shifts, lived frugally, and sought legal advice to ensure this would never happen again. Slowly, my credit score improved, and with it, my sense of security and self-worth. Looking back, the experience taught me a harsh but valuable lesson about trust and vigilance. It's crucial to safeguard personal information and be wary, even of those closest to you. Betrayal leaves deep scars, but it also brings resilience and strength. Today, I'm more cautious, but also more grateful for the true friends and family who stood by me during the darkest times. Kevin's actions may have thrown my life into chaos, but they also showed me the importance of perseverance and the power of starting anew.